Hey, Crypto Growth fam, how's it going? This is your host Shazib signing in. We're back with another video, guys. In this video, we will be discussing XPR Network, Blockchain Nation. It's going to be an interesting one, guys, so make sure to watch till the end. And folks, for those of you who are new to the channel, we primarily discuss utility coins and potential gems. If you're interested in any of that stuff, then subscribe the channel and hit the notification icon for regular videos. And you can also support the channel by becoming a Patreon, so do check that out as well, only if you're interested. And folks, keep your assets safe, and for that you guys can check out the Crypto Growth exclusive discount offer on Decent. Decent is convenient, safe, and secure. You can check out their biometric wallet, which has got a phenomenal $50 off. And you can also check out their biometric wallet 2x package, guys, which has got an astonishing $129 off, only if you follow the link in the description box below. By the way, folks, Decent supports 3000 plus of your favorite coins and tokens, and it supports 50 plus blockchain mainnets. I personally prefer storing the assets in a cold hardware wallet, so do check out Decent and be safe. Anyways, guys, I've brought a really good video over here. Marshall Hayner involved. A really decent video, but it is a bit long. It is 47 minutes long. You have to check this out yourselves. A really good interview. This is Congressman Byron Donalds. This is Marshall Hayner, John Sanesi, and we're just going to be looking at the bits and pieces of it, but you have to check this out yourselves, guys. It is a bit long. Anyways, guys, let's start and see what Marshall has to say.
Welcome to this live video discussion. We are live on CoinDesk's X and YouTube accounts. And today we're in a discussion that's titled State of the Blockchain Nation. I'm joined by U.S. Congressman Byron Donalds and Metallicus CEO Marshall Hayner. Good evening to you both. We're getting into the evening now. It's been a long Monday, but here we are. I'm excited for this discussion.
Yeah, so am I. It's good to be here.
All right, I want to start at a very high level for this discussion. For folks who are watching this video, I think it's important for them to understand where you're both coming from. So, Congressman, I'm going to start with you. Just give us a really quick tidbit. Why does crypto resonate with you? I know you really have been a proponent for crypto in your position. Talk to me a little bit about why it resonates with you.
For me, it's really one overarching reason and a bunch of underlying ones. First is that it's really a holder, and what it can be is a holder of value outside of the dollar, and also outside of some of your traditional metals, whether that be gold, silver, or other types of commodities. And I think that in the digital landscape, which is not going anywhere, it's only going to continue to grow, become far more dynamic and interwoven in the lives of Americans, giving people the ability to be able to maintain some semblance of value for the money that they earn from the fruits of their labor, their ingenuity, etc. That to me is just common sense policy for everybody. I think as a backdrop to that, I have a lot of concerns about how the Federal Reserve.
Yes, I totally agree. We need some alternatives to gold, silvers, these other commodities. Obviously, we need some scarcity in the financial realm, guys. I really like what Byron has to say and how he has basically said it.
Has diluted purchasing power for Americans.
And we just need the right guardrails to do that. Congressman, I want to come back to you. This discussion is called the State of Blockchain Nation.
Centered on, and so is Richie Torres.
But for many
capabilities.
Let's see what Marshall has to say.
In our country to create the electricity baseload you need in order to support the technology as it grows, not just in terms of dollar size in the economy, but with power consumption to support all the servers and all the equipment necessary.
Marshall, I want to kick it over to you now and talk about crypto's, I guess, growing role, the growing spotlight on crypto in the upcoming election. Some numbers that came out recently said that the crypto industry accounts for nearly half of corporate spending for the upcoming election. I mean, if I were to tell you a year ago that this would be the state of corporate funding for the election, would you be surprised?
I absolutely would believe it. I've been involved in crypto when it was just a hobby, when the only conferences were, tops 30 people in a room together. And now I've watched as, I've seen events go into the thousands of people filling large conference halls. Like AI and like Congressman said, energy is needed, not only for proof of work, but for many innovations in the US. And it's very important that we manage that energy policy responsibly. I absolutely see the potential because blockchain really, in some ways, is disrupting one of the oldest industries, which is banking. And I believe that it will ultimately be the underlying technology that connects banks and financial institutions globally. Will it be Bitcoin? There are a lot of people that would say, yeah, I would like for it to be that, but I'm a multi-chain believer. I'm working on a blockchain myself called Metal Blockchain that's trying to connect credit unions and banks. I believe that the marriage of these two technologies will bring together just a complete sea change. If you think about where corporations were 30 years ago, with snail mail and fax machines and things that the modern generation probably doesn't even know what they are. That's what is happening with money. And if it wasn't a big deal, then no one would care. It wouldn't be, you wouldn't see those stats that you just mentioned. But there is big money involved. And it's hard to imagine that this is just the tip of the spear or the iceberg, but it's so much larger than you can see. And I think there are certain areas like AI and blockchain that over the next 10 to 15 years will become, as Congressman said, multi-trillion-dollar industries. I think it's important to separate Bitcoin and digital assets between the technology as well. There's crypto and there's blockchain, but we need coherent federal and state regulation and legislation on both ends. And I believe that there is a lot of regulation around money that applies to cryptocurrency, but I think we need to go further and to take this kind of blanket approach where we say we don't need to change anything. That's wrong. We're now in 2024. We need to adapt with the policies around money, around digital assets. And like Congressman said, I think I look at both parties. I never would have really before have said, one party or the other party. But when I look at the parties just from the issue of cryptocurrency, Blockbuster. And I remember as a kid, loved going to Blockbuster with my parents, renting movies. And then when I was in college, there was Redbox. And we watched as that industry, entertainment, went to streaming. And so if you compare that same analogy to financial services and money, and the technology grows, the original, what they call crypto anarchist cypherpunk ethos of down with the banks, when I heard that, I thought, that's cute, right? That's funny. But the reality is it doesn't go away. That's like thinking, well, now that we have Netflix, forget entertainment. We won't need movies anymore. But actually, that's the whole platform, right? It's just that the technology has upgraded and grown. So I bet my career and my company on that we're going to bridge that gap and to make it safe and easy and compliant, transparent to use. Never before in the history of man have you had an unalterable public global ledger, and that's the real innovation. Will it become intertwined with government? Absolutely. And I think it will create more free and fair elections. It will bring transparency to government spending, to donations, also just in general to efficiency of movement of money. And people don't talk about it very often, but blockchain solved counterfeit currency. We solved it. It is solved now. And that innovation in and of itself is such a massive innovation that no one talks about. Will nations of the world move to digital currencies that utilize this technology, such as a CBDC? Absolutely. But in the same way, when we can compare money to the parcel service, it's like saying, well, will USPS put FedEx out of business? No, because the private enterprise and corporations will always have a niche and an edge for certain use cases and capabilities. And I'm a big believer in that. I probably myself will go to FedEx, but it doesn't mean that I can't use a CBDC as well. However, I'd like to see that innovation side coming from the private sector first and foremost. And again, innovate responsibly. I think that in our space, some people will laugh, but I think it's a very serious matter that if we want our technology to grow, and again, AI is another good comparison, you have to innovate responsibly. Otherwise, you will drown under regulation that doesn't make sense. And we need to interface with our elected representatives and have more people like Congressman Donalds out there who are representing us and speaking well about the subject, because again, as the congressman mentioned, there hasn't been enough research on the Hill. And I think more of that needs to happen.
Marshall, I want to hear a little bit more about your perspective on CBDCs, because
Guys, I really liked what Marshall has to say. He makes sense, guys, as he said that first and foremost that the people that were saying that banks will go away when the digital assets are here. Now, why do we need banks? They are here and they are here to stay. This is a reality. But guys, to transform that legacy system, those traditional systems, and bridge the gap between the traditional finance and blockchain, digital assets, we need good projects and good responsible projects, guys. Like XPR, it has a Metallicus ecosystem. They have the potential, guys. Anything can go bad, anything can go good. But the idea, the vision that the Metallicus team has, as we saw from Marshall over here, I really think that they have the potential to basically transform the game, the financial landscape. I really like it. Let's hope that USA sorts out the regulatory framework for digital assets and everything, because a lot of different regions of the world, guys, they are going forward with it. They already have some sort of a foundation, a framework already installed. So USA needs to come up with their own set of ideas and principles as to what they want from this industry, from blockchain, from this innovation. So, guys, what do you guys think about the blockchain nation? Basically the blockchain technology that is basically bridging the gap between legacy systems and modern systems, the blockchain systems, and the projects like XPR, Metal, and Metallicus ecosystem in entirety. What do you guys think about it? Do hit the comment box below and let the community know. You have to watch the whole thing, guys. It is an interesting interview. You'll like it. Anyways, guys, this was it for the video. If you liked it, make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification icon if you're interested in utility coins and potential gems. And you can also support the channel by becoming a Patreon, so do check that out. Like I always say in the end, until next time, stay blessed and stay tuned. Thank you very much, everyone.